Valorant are finally releasing the highly anticipated Kuronami 2.0 skin bundle. I was lucky enough to get early access and preview these skins, so let's take a look at everything this collection is going to include. Just like the first one, Kuronami 2.0 will cost 9,500 Valorant points, putting it slightly above the usual price point for an exclusive tier bundle. That is obviously insanely expensive, but since releasing at the start of 2024, Kuronami has become one of Valorant's most popular skin lines. This is one of the few collections where a lot of players will at least be able to see where the price increase comes from. People have been asking for Kuronami 2.0 for a long time. Now that it's finally here, the big question is simple. Did Riot match the hype from the first bundle, or did they play it too safe? The guns are basically what you'd expect from a 2.0. However, the melee is where they actually made something special, since it is going to transform just like Nocturnum. We'll save the best for last though and talk more about that later. Instead, let's start with the Phantom, and design-wise, this feels just like the first Kuronami. It has the same mix of sharp modern metalwork, traditional leather wrapping, and flowing water effects that made the original bundle so popular. For a 2.0 bundle, you obviously just want that same original identity applied to new weapons, and a really good example of that is with this inspect animation. The same goes for the equip animation, as the Phantom materializes from water, and the reload animation borrows the water shuriken from the Vandal and all the other Kuronami skins. I'll play some of the sounds of the Kuronami Phantom for you now, because this is where I think this gun might actually fit the theme even better than the Vandal. Yeah, like I was gonna say, and this could be a bad take, I almost feel like a Phantom fits Kuronami better than the Vandal. Something about that slightly muffled, suppressed sounds makes this gun feel like a really natural fit to me. While we're on the topic, here's the Kuronami kill banner. No surprises there really, it's just going to be the same kill banner as the original Kuronami bundle. It already sounded amazing though, so I'm glad nothing changed there. So that was the Phantom, which is probably the obvious highlight for most players, but the Guardian might quietly be one of the best parts of this bundle. One thing I didn't know until I was making this video is that the Guardian has actually missed out on a lot of Valorant's flashiest high-end bundles. Instead, it'll normally be weapons like the Spectre or Bulldog or Operator getting all the love, so finally seeing a crazy Guardian skin with all new animations is pretty satisfying. For the Operator, I really love the whirlpool details inside the scope lens. They actually did this with the Marshal too, but somehow I never noticed that until now. Outside of that, you get the new Shuriken reload, the water materializing with the equip animation, and the classic Kuronami inspect effects. The actual inspect movement is of course still default, but the visual and audio work do a lot to carry it. One other detail about the Kuronami skins I wasn't aware of is that for the inspect animation music tempo, it's obviously going to be different for each weapon, but the basis for that is actually the fire rate. So the slower the firing of the weapon, the slower the tempo on the inspect music. Now the Ghost got a little bit more attention with its animations, not only having a flashy reload, but a spin on the equip as well. The devs were saying that it's harder to get that same water materialization effect on such a small gun, so just like the Sheriff, we get a sick new equip animation here. Honestly, the Ghost has been on such a good run with skins lately, between Phase Guard, Ayakashi, and now Kuronami. I don't normally want to use a Ghost on pistol rounds, but with all these amazing options, it's starting to feel like I should. Now, since this is a 2.0 collection, the finisher is going to be identical to the one from the first Kuronami bundle. There isn't really much to say here. The sky turns dark, it starts raining, and the enemy gets trapped in a ball of water. I do still love that that ball is interactive though, so you can pop it by running into it or shooting at it. Next for the variants, they're also going to be the same as the original Kuronami bundle. I'm honestly glad they didn't try any new colors here, because this is one of the few skins where almost every variant works. A lot of popular bundles still have one or two colorways that feel like easy skips, but with Kuronami, the purple, white, and dark red all look incredible. I would even say that the default blue is my least favorite overall, which I think says a lot about how strong the variants are here. Now just quickly touching on some of the extra cosmetics that are going to come with this bundle, because there is a new Kuronami body, but as far as I'm aware, it doesn't track kills, since it only has 3 little spots there, whereas the old one had 5. And then you can see that while it does change colors for the Kuronami 2.0 skins, if you put it on the Vandal or any of the older Kuronami skins, it won't actually update to match the variant. And then unfortunately, the same goes for the old Kuronami body. It has variant if it's on the Vandal, but if you put the old body on the new Phantom, it doesn't change to match. Other than that, while I'm thinking of it, here is a look at the animated Kuronami player card from this bundle, and the spray as well. Kuronami 2.0 does not come with a flex. Finally, that brings us to the pinnacle of this collection, the Narukami. For me, this is where the bundle goes from safe to actually feeling special. Now the knife did unfortunately leak a little bit early online, and I wasn't able to cover it till now since I was part of the early preview event and technically under embargo. I was surprised at how many negative reactions I saw based on those leaks though, because to me this knife feels incredible. I'm a big fan of this transforming mechanic, as just like Nocturnum, it basically gives you 2 knives in one. The kunai style is just a smaller, faster feeling melee that a lot of players love, then the katana gives you the bigger, flashier option. Even though it's only 1 knife, it's going to be appealing to at least 2 different types of players. I'd say my only gripe with this melee is the swinging animations, particularly the left clicks feel a little bit too plain. It's not so much the katana I have the problem with, just the kunai. There is still a lot to like, but for a melee this expensive, and for a skin line as popular as Kuronami, I do wish the basic swings had a little bit more going on. Like I was saying though, the kunai still has a lot going for it. The right click does look new from what I can tell, and the idle pose is definitely new, so you'll see that when you're just holding the knife out and running around with it. Having said all that, we haven't even honed in on the transformation animation itself yet, which is easily my favorite part of the knife. Going from the kunai to the katana already looks smooth, with the water forming into the blade as you gesture with your hand. But the reverse animation, where the water pops into droplets, is the part that genuinely got me. I think my jaw dropped when I saw that for the first time. Yeah, overall, this knife is absolutely incredible as far as I'm concerned. Riot didn't give me the standalone knife price, but if it follows the original Kuronami melee, I would expect it to be 5,350 Valorant points. Then the individual guns will be 2,375 Valorant points each, and in case you missed it earlier, the full bundle is 9,500 Valorant points. Kuronami 2.0 is set to release on the 29th of April, though the exact timing may vary slightly depending on your region and the time the story sets for you. Overall, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Kuronami glazer, there are other Vandal skins I personally prefer, but I think Riot did a really good job applying the original formula to a new set of weapons. The guns are clean, the theme still holds up, and the knife is what really sells this bundle. Let me know what you think though. Are you picking up the full bundle, just the Phantom, just the knife, or skipping Kuronami 2.0 entirely?